Hey gang, this is Malcolm here, and I'm presenting this to you guys. This is my pitch for a Legion of Superheroes movie, and I can't say anything more than that it is a pitch. And I can definitely say, however, that I'm a big fan of Legion of Superheroes. The first comic book I ever read was given to me by my dad. I think it was like 1974 or 75. It was a Legion of Superheroes comic, and Superboy, the Legion of Superhero comic at the time, and I really loved it. And Legion of Superheroes has become part of almost all my creative endeavors. It's always me chasing the Legion of Superheroes. But yeah, I really enjoyed the comic, and this is my pitch for a movie for it. I'm not saying it'll ever happen or anything, but it probably won't. But this is what I would do with it if I was given control of Legion of Superheroes or allowed to pitch it. To give you little guys who don't know me a bit on my background, I have pitched movies before to several studios, including Paramount and Universal, and other smaller companies. I've optioned a couple of my ideas off as movies for several studios. I've been producer on several movies. So this is just a fly by night thing. This is, it's coming from someone who's actually done stuff for it. But yeah, and a lot of you who follow me know this, but I'm just letting you guys know, a little bit of my background when it comes to movies. But yeah, this is my pitch, and I want you guys to hear it. And I know most people don't know who the Legion of Heroes are. I won't go into that. This is for people who know the Legion, who love the Legion. So, which is a DC Comics series that started in the 1950s. It's really long lasting, not well known, but those who love it well. So yeah, it's my pitch, and thank you guys for listening. And as I always say, geek out.
The Legion of Superheroes. Tagline: sometimes to save a galaxy you must rebel against it. Act 1, The Legion of Superheroes is punked. Chuck Tane lives in the 31st century. Earth is a utopia thanks to the foundation built long ago in the Age of Heroes. The union of planets and their science police have brokered peace to the known galaxy. The utopia isn't as perfect as everyone thinks, however. To keep things in order, everything must be tidy. This is a sterile and boring 1950s style feature. Everyone smiles, everyone watches the same 100 or so shows and listens to the same kind of music. People tend to stay on their home worlds, they rarely leave their city of birth, and the stagnation of society is obvious. Deep in space, however, a star explodes, and scientists watch and take readings. A green object flies from the heart of the sun, a screaming emeraldite the size of a basketball. It's looking for something. As it screams through the galaxy, it flies through a ship that happens to have one of the richest men alive on board. The ship and the man, R.J. Brandy, are almost lost, but thanks to 3 teens from 3 different worlds he's saved. Garth, hothead with lighting powers. From a farm planet. Rock, cool and collected with magnetic powers. From a mining planet. Imra, cold and logical psionic. From a planet dedicated to meditation. Brandy offers the kids money, but they decline. Everyone arrives at Earth and goes their separate ways. The media paints the 3 kids as rebels. Saving people is for the science police, not kids who should be on their home worlds doing what people usually do in those worlds. Chuck Tane thinks otherwise. Chuck is a big fanboy of the heroic age and sees the trio as heroes and kindred spirits because, like them, Chuck has power. The Eye flies to the prison planet Waller. It rips through it like nothing, looking for someone to command it, give it purpose, and finds it in prisoner Alpha 457B, aka Sonya Kesh, imprisoned for murder and extortion. The Eye enters her cell and lands at her feet. She touches it and the Emerald Empress is born. She learns the Eye has no self-awareness other than to be led and commanded. Seeing a chance to rule, Sonya gathers from her wing 4 more prisoners, the worst of the worst. Mano, denizen of an anti-matter dimension, his touch can destroy matter. Persuader, mercenary who can use any weapon and has an axe of unknown origin that can cut through anything. Theric, super smart cyborg scientist. Validus, a creature of great strength, nigh invulnerability who can produce waves of telekinetic destruction. Together they swear to make the union of planets pay. The Fatal Five is born. The Five destroy Waller, decimate a science police fleet, and head towards Earth. Act 2, Fatal Five Forever. On Earth we discover Chuck runs an underground cyber community for fans of the Age of Heroes and teens with powers who occasionally sneak out and try to do heroic things. His tech guy is a green-skinned Kaluan named Doc, but Chuck calls him Brainy. Brainy helps Chuck find the three kids who saved Brandy. Chuck then goes out to gather them back together. He finds Garth at an underground punk music bar. Punk music is outlawed because it's seen as rebellious. Rock in an underground MMA-style arena as a fighter, and Imra is at one of the last existing libraries. He talks/bribes them into coming to his home. In space, the Fatal Five heads toward Earth, wreaking havoc and seeking parts of a device that would allow that Tharok claims can eat a sun. They plan to use it on the Earth's sun, thus destroying the Union homeworld and destabilizing the Union. The parts are on Thanagor, Ran, Tamarania, and Daxam. There is a quick montage of the Five taking the parts from the first four worlds with ease, but on Daxam theft is almost thwarted by a Daxamine science police cadet in training named Mon, who ends up stowing away on the Fatal Five ship. Mon is scared he's never been off-world. Daxamites are forbidden to leave Daxam for a reason lost to time. On Earth, Chuck, Garth, Imra, and Rock hang out talking. Chuck goes into a rant about the heroic age and shows off his power, the ability to inflate into a ball that bounces and absorbs kinetic energy for more speed and power. They nickname him Bouncing Boy. As a joke, Chuck comes back with names for them: Livewire, Cosmic Boy, and Saturn Girl. Garth introduces the group to punk music and explains its rebellious nature and how it's about fighting against unjust systems. The music stops as a planetary alert is announced. An unknown ship has jumped into the solar system. Video shows the ship being met by a science police blockade, and the blockade is destroyed. The Fatal Five members and powers are identified. Chuck sees his chance and says that they can do what the science police can't and that they should try to help. To occupy the science police while Tharok finishes the Sun Eater, the Emerald Empress uses the eye to transform the dead science police officers into flying undead cannibals she calls antibodies. When this done is for an instant, the emerald light flickers red and seems to gain briefly some true sentience. The antibodies attack the moon. Chuck, Garth, Rock and Imra go to help and manage to stop them barely. In fact, they are only saved from dying in space when Brainy arrives in his ship. Fear of death and bickering almost break up the team. Thankfully, Brainy has another passenger, Mon, who used the chaos to escape. Brainy picked him up on the way to the moon. Act 3, Sun Eater. The Fatal Five announces its plan from Earth orbit with the science police unable to break through the weapons of Tharok and the Emerald Empress shield. Chuck talks the group into fighting the Fatal Five, but Imra says they are outmatched. Chuck has a plan and a network of kids like them looking for this chance. Chuck sends out a call. 4 kids answer. Winamawazo, a girl from a world that's out of phase with the galaxy. She can walk through matter and energy. Luorna Durd, Chuck's online crush. She can multiply into 3 versions of herself, each mind-linked. Bryn Londo, he was experimented on by his father and granted heightened science, claws, and heightened physicality. He also has anger issues. Jonah, a rebel spaceship racer/vagabond who thanks to an accident has super strength, super speed, invulnerability, and eye lasers, but he can only use one at a time. The team needs a place to gather and Imra calls Brandy, who says they can use his place in New Metropolis on Earth. The team meets and argue but bonds over being different and even gains another friend, Brand's adopted son, Reed, a shapeshifter and last of his people who were killed by Validus. Brainy upgrades Brand's clothing synthesizers and tech to build flight rings and special spacesuits for everyone, even Mon, who as far as they know has no powers but who is experiencing headaches and eye pain on Earth. Brainy scans him and says solar radiation, very sparse trace amounts of lead from where he was hiding on the Fatal Five ship, and his Daxamite physiology is the issue. The suit helps Mon recover quickly and reveals he's gaining powers of his own. He's stronger and faster and can see through walls. In space, the Sun Eater is unleashed and the Fatal Five watch as the science police are helpless to stop it or them. They don't notice Winema phasing Garth, Bryn, Imra, Chuck, and Jonah onto their ship until they encounter antibody security. The group defeats the security but is confronted by the Five. In Spacey, Brainy, Luornu, Reap, and Mon chase the Sun Eater as they get closer to the Sun. Mon's powers increase. Brainy tries to figure out a way to stop the creature while his friends keep it busy. The fight against the Fatal Five doesn't go well at first. Garth loses an arm to Persuader, the Emerald Empress proves too powerful and the others are powerful in their own right. Eventually, Imra manages to connect to the eye and put it to sleep while learning its origin. It once belonged to a powerful being killed by a great green light in a war long ago. Its power and the light mix. Without the eye, the science police attacks start to take down the ship. The Fatal Five is defeated and the teen heroes barely escape. Garth gives the science police the finger with his one remaining hand. In space, the Sun Eater is occupied chasing Amon Reap and Luornu, three of her. It absorbs and kills one of the triplicates and starts to drain Mon of solar energy. Reap manages to save his friends when Brainy fires a beam at the creature, collapsing it on itself. Mon, now nearly full-powered, traps the creature in a spar spacesuit built by Brainy. The semi-sentient sun killer, a glowing mass of energy, still fights, but stops when Luornu discovers a part of them is in it and uses that to calm the beast. The group reunites and returns to Brandy's home and is confronted by the science police who want to arrest them. Brandy steps up and uses his influence to prevent that. He gives a speech about his ancestor from the Age of Heroes who used his wealth to help the world and was a hero of the heroic age, and that with beings like the Fatal Five out there, heroes are needed again. A few days later, Chuck and the others gather in the clubhouse purchased by Brandy. At the entrance, you see a painting of Brains' ancestors in shadow. It's Bruce Wayne, Selina Kyle. Everyone is talking about their improved suits, which look less like colorful spacesuits and more like superhero uniforms, and, save for the Sun Eater's suit, which is still bulky, the creature is being looked after by its former sisters and is nicknamed Wildfire. We learn from a talk between Brainy and Mon that 500 years ago Daxam was founded by Arthur Kennever as a haven for the growing number of beings with Kryptonian DNA from Earth. Its red sun keeping it in check. The team officially dedicates itself to helping the galaxy despite its small size. Chuck laughs and brings out a hologram device showing his full network of alien and human kids with powers. There are over 50. Brainy calls it a legion, and Mon adds, of superheroes. Garth, now with a biocybernetic arm, smirks and says he likes that and calls out, "Long live the Legion." The others do the same, fade to black.